Last year I received an invitation to an event that promised to be, quote, an occasion for exclusive deal-making. It said, quote, the opportunities for mutually beneficial economic development between China and our individual states are tremendous, end of quote. Deal-making sounds like it might have come from President Trump, but the invitation was actually from a former governor. I was being invited to the U.S.-China Governors Collaboration Summit. It was an event co-hosted by the National Governors Association and something called the Chinese People's Association for Friendship and Foreign Countries. Sounds pretty harmless. What the invitation did not say is that the group I just mentioned, is the public face of the Chinese Communist Party's official foreign influence agency, the United Front Work Department. Now, I was lucky. I was familiar with that organization from my time as the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, but it got me thinking, how many of you made the link between that group and Chinese Communist Party officials? What if you made a new friend while you were at that event? What if your new friend asked you for introductions to other politically connected and powerful people? What if your new friend offered to invest big money in your state, perhaps in your pension, in industries sensitive to our national security? These aren't hypotheticals. These scenarios are all too true, and they impact American foreign policy significantly. Indeed, last year, a Chinese government-backed think tank in Beijing produced a report that assessed all 50 of America's governors on their attitudes towards China. They labeled each of you friendly, hardline, or ambiguous. I'll let you decide where you think you belong. Someone in China already has. Many of you, indeed, in that report are referenced by name. So here's the lesson. The lesson is that competition with China is not just a federal issue. It's why I wanted to be here today.
No, wait just a minute. I want to go and I think I want to vote for Jason Shaw. They didn't vote that ballot a while ago. There wasn't nothing there. I think we need to vote for him. And I'm going to complete it. Confirm, ballot, save, move to next ballot. Okay. So it pulls up the next ballot that needs to be adjudicated.
So you made a vote for someone where someone did not vote?
I did, didn't I?
And you're the election supervisor?
I'm the election supervisor. I am the person that sits and does the adjudication. Yes, sir?
Go back to the Trump and Biden race and decide, since both are marked, you just count one of them and not count the other one? Can you decide?
Let's see. Yep, sure can. I think I want to vote for Biden. Let's let Biden win this one.
So what you put supersedes whatever.
So you.
But I decided this Al, he don't deserve no votes. Let's not let nobody vote for that. And complete. Okay. Well, here's another one.
That's what we got from our discussion the other day.
I don't think any votes need to vote on this ballot.
Oh, wow.
I think this really needs to be just a blank ballot.
Oh, wow.
Complete.
Eric Swalwell did exactly what the Chinese wanted. We need to figure out, are there others? And I can tell you without giving away too much intelligence, this is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the leverage that China is putting on our politicians. There's many, many more.
Wouldn't the Bidens be up there in that category?
There's a variety of mayors, governors, senior people. Look, the other thing that we've got to point to is that Eric Swalwell
I can't let you
said,
gloss over that. Mayors, governors, senior officials, what?
There's a whole bunch, Sean, and more should be coming out. They've all received defensive briefings, and there's a lot more to it. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Did I see Matt Gaetz blushing there? That would be impossible. I mean,
Listen,
Matt,
I want to know what Pelosi knew, Sean. It's very important to know what Pelosi knew and when she knew it. Everybody in Washington knows Swalwell is Pelosi's fair-haired boy. She is his top political ally. I'm guessing she knew more about this than we might originally suspect.
He said leadership knew. He said leadership knew about this.
Wow, great work, both of you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Matt.
Unsettling to know that American elections have been just as rigged as elections in third world countries have been. I'm sure the CIA has been involved in any number of those activities. If not here, in other places around the world, it may have been the CIA that created this software and programs to begin with and then exported them for their own use only to have it come back to us. It could be that, very important, powerful, extremely wealthy people were involved in rigging this election. It's globalist interest. I mean, frankly, everyone in the world, except for the millions of Americans that wanted to elect Donald Trump to clean up the swamp and drain the swamp, want this world to continue the way it was, with them having all the power and working behind the scenes to rig elections and everything else, so that they could profit from their own nefarious activities. It's massive. I'm sure the media companies are involved in it too. I noticed how all the same night, as if they were queued at once, they stopped counting electoral votes and the machines stopped counting in the swing states. It was all timed and planned and organized and funded.
Had hundreds of millions of dollars poured into their election offices by Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg poured in $400 million into this election, matching the federal government expenditure. And through his charities, they paid the election judges, they paid the people who boarded up the windows, they bought the machines, and America was kicked out of the counting room and a billionaire invited in, and the charity that Zuckerberg gave $350 million to. And here's what those communications said. They dictated to the city of Philadelphia the number of polling places they would have. They dictated to the city of Philadelphia who would staff those polling places. They said that they would pay the salaries of these persons and that they would pay buy the machines. And if Philadelphia didn't achieve those goals, they pull all their money back. Now, as we dive down into their impact, I just want to give you one more example. They reached out to the blue state or Democrat strongholds, and they made it very easy to vote by purchasing these election offices. They are the ones who put out the drop boxes.
George Soros, the biggest contributor to the Democratic Party, the biggest contributor to Black Lives Matter, and the biggest contributor to Antifa. Too many coincidences here, ladies and gentlemen.
George Soros. Okay, so far this election cycle, there he is, there's Georgie. He's donated $70 million to get Joe Biden elected.
Too many. What I'm telling you is exceedingly dangerous to the survival of our democracy. Democrats over the last 4 years have trashed our Constitution so badly, and because the press just covers up what they do, they're destroying our rights. We got to make a stand here. I don't care how much they intimidate us. I don't care how much they threaten us. I don't care if they say we can't get jobs and we're going to lose our reputation. And this is about our country, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the survival of the greatest democracy on earth. What they've done to it is outrageous. These people are criminals, and they are worse than a lot of the criminals I've prosecuted before, and they are a lot worse than the common criminals that we put in jail or we let out of jail. These people are trying to take away from us rights that were given to us by God. We're not going to let them do it. We're going to fight. We're We're going to fight again. We're going to continue to fight because we have ultimate faith that a much higher authority is looking over this country. He's guided it forever. And we have great faith. And we're not going to have our sacred right to vote taken away from us because that's what's at stake here. So stay tuned because this battle has just begun.
How would your coworkers here describe you?
As somebody who never gives up. They can never give up. Never.